first screen name was Slim Shady 6607 because I'm the coolest.
Jinko Boy 411. And I think that's because I wore Jinkos, I was a boy, and I apparently had a 411.
Flippy Boy.
The earliest I can remember is something like Dark Shadow Fairy with like a string of numbers.
When I turned 10, I made my screen name Funny Guy 45 because I figured that would take me 35 more years.
My first screen name came around the time when I was 10 years old, and what happened when I was 10? The Spice Girls happened when I was 10.
Today, every new platform that we join, we make a new screen name, a username, a handle. Whatever you call it, we come up with a unique identifier.
But why is this the way that the internet works? Why haven't we just always used our real names on websites?
So in the 60s, back before the screen, we had CB radios.
React. I've got a medical emergency. I need the fire department paramedic.
CB radios work on frequencies that you can join in on. It's basically like an open air chat room.
It's hard to not talk about this and not sound like an idiot from the 70s here, but this is where it comes from. So all the truckers had CB radios. But then people started saying, hey, this is kind of cool. I'd kind of like to listen in on this and see what goes on. It was very much a mobile chat room of the 70s. The range was very limited.
315, 909, leaving gate. 10-4, 2315. Keep in touch every 10 minutes.
Folks still had CBs at home also. CBs at home were more utilitarian, so you could talk to a barn or to a neighbor or something like that if you needed to. Now, of course, part of the CB culture was you never used your legal name. The FCC was like, you should not hand out your real name and whatnot. So it was common culture to use a nickname or a handle. Now that everything's interconnected, which happened, in the 90s and the late 90s, any hint about your personal information leaves a trail.
In a way, the tradition of anonymity that you might have seen with CB radios still lives on platforms like Reddit, where anonymity is very valued.
I will be forthcoming about who I am on most places, but I feel like usernames are a great way for me to express myself without having to also sacrifice, my privacy online.
But then we all remember the hardest part about getting a screen name, and that is making sure the name is available.
FLIPIBOI. Actually, I enjoyed having this screen name because I didn't have any numbers behind it. That meant that you were the first. So I was the first Flippy Boy, spelled incorrectly.
So a lot of my handles on public-facing social media are iterations of my name, which is actually hard because there's this K-pop star who has the same name as me, which just totally messes up my SEO.
You may have grown out of your AIM screen name with the unique spelling and capitalization, but the legacy of the CB radio handle lives on through sites like Reddit, TikTok, and Twitter.
If you made a screen name right now, what would it be? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and let us know what your first screen name was.